tell you, like Tayo said before he left the set, it is a bumper package. Let me start by introducing them in the house. I will start from the farthest. I know why. Sometimes in Yoruba parlance, maybe or tattoo law, you eat with the devil with the long hands. But sometimes when they are close to you, what do? You just have to continue that way. I'm starting with you. Yemi Bakare, how are you?
Ken, good afternoon. Good afternoon, viewers. It's good to be here.
Jimmy.
Good afternoon, viewers.
Okay, Jimmy, can you introduce the next person?
yes. Yeah, the great Bukola Olakpade is in the studio with us.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Ken. Good afternoon, viewers.
Okay, Bukola Olakpade is the former commissioner for sport. The longest is the longest serving commissioner in Nigeria, commissioner for sports in Ogun State, and he's joining us today to look at crucial issues that are facing Nigerian football. So today, of course, there will be the fun, there will be the entertainment in the team, in the house. But then we take it there, take it out from what happened on Wednesday. We just found out that at about 10 a.m. in the morning that the glass house went on fire. But the fallout from all that, we shall hear from Abuja when the time is right in this program. And also we'll look at on Tuesday, the elective or the General Congress or whatever is the General Assembly is meeting. Are they meeting in Warri or are they meeting in Abuja? What is the position? What's the position of FIFA in this? What's the position of CAF? Our status in relation, to FIFA itself. How did the governance of football in Nigeria and then the way forward? We shall look at all those things. And then, of course, we'll open the lines and you will be part of this. But first, let us start. There's a long time ago, when Nigeria was too hot and you can't discuss crucial issues, you go to Afghanistan. You start from the foreign news. So we are starting with the Formula One today. It will be Rosberg versus Hamilton. Both of them are Mercedes. Rivalry gone. I don't know what it's all about. There's supposed to be a family, but the fight is worse than Inter with other teams. So I will actually start with Jimmy on this. Jimmy.
Yes, as we have been expecting for like 4 weeks now, the Formula One GP season is rebooted, so to say. I think it's actually a season within a season. It's just a separate season when you consider the fact that Rosberg has just got 11 points advantage on, what's his name now, Hamilton. Now, Lewis Hamilton has done very well for himself this season, but you consider the fact that Rosberg has done also very well. The likes of Sebastian Vettel, the likes of Alonso.
Vettel is on third. At least is starting out.
Yes, for this particular race, he's actually starting third, and you expect maybe if he's able to overtake just like last season, he might just win. But you look at Rosberg, they're just doing too well. You look at Hamilton, doing very well. He had qualifying issues, with the glazed disc in his car. But then again, you ask yourself, given all that has happened this season, maybe the title decider will still be Abu Dhabi, where you'll be awarded 2 times the total number of points you're supposed to get, which is 25 points. Then if, for example, we have an Hamilton, maybe like 18, 20 points, just behind, what's his name now, Rosberg. At the end of the day, Hamilton, a race to go into the season, might still get to win. But it's so tight at the moment. Let's see what will happen. But
okay,
I think
let me go to Jimmy. 20 point, doubling the point. If you win, you have 50 points at the last day. Are they trying to get sort of like a cup final? And then before you, I will also answer that we've seen Hamilton starting from 19th, and finishing. I'm making it to the podium. Yep. Now he's just behind Rosberg. Yeah? How do you see him say, yes, this is just one man I'm fighting, I'm not coming from so far?
I think, like Jimmy said, I love the rivalry between Hamilton and Rosberg this season. People want to bring out something negative about it, but for me, it's positive when drivers from the same team. Don't forget that this is a combination of man and machine. Yeah. The Mercedes car this season has been extraordinary, and the 2 drivers there, they've shown great form and great speed, which has taken them to where they are as we speak. So talking about the Abu Dhabi, like, is it like a semi-final where you get double the
winner takes it all?
Winner takes it all. I think it's good because everybody is all fired up for it, and they know that once you are able to get that particular point, it doubles your point. It's good for them in one sense, so that you can catch up. when you have like a 20 point gap.
The gap is.
It shows that
it makes it more exciting.
It makes it more exciting. It shows that the leader cannot
But I still
afford
want to ask
to
you one more question on this. In the last race, at a point, Hamilton was giving team order to allow Rosberg to go. And the guy said no.
Okay.
If it's faster than me, let him pass.
Like, exactly. I don't see why in a team you have one driver designated as number one, where you will now tell the other driver to work for him.
That's the way Formula One is.
That's the way it is, but now
Hamilton are contenders.
It's about contenders. Hamilton felt that the instruction he's getting from the team won't work in his favor, and it didn't listen.
Yeah, don't forget the fact that Mercedes is a German car.
Okay, no problem.
Rosberg is German.
We have a guest in the house. But I won't talk football yet. Nadal won't be making it at the US Open. Do you see he's the defending champion? You see an opening for Roger Federer, or maybe Andy Murray.
The men's circuit in tennis has become very tough, unlike before, where you would be able to narrow it down to 2-3 players.
Yes.
So I mean, we have greyhounds like
Raonic,
Dimitrov,
Gobis,
Wawrinka.
Yeah.
That was a young man I wanted to remember.
Okay.
So he's going to be, and don't also forget that the Argentine always thrives in a US Open. What's his name again? The tall
Nabaldyan.
No.
Which one now?
The tall Argentine
Del
kid. I can't remember.
Yeah, exactly.
So the US Open has always had a very unique way of training
I
up.
think Del Potro has pulled out.
Del Potro has pulled out.
Has he?
Yeah,
Yes.
pulled out.
All right.
Has pulled out, yes.
But I mean, Nadal being there or not, it's still going to be a very exciting, interesting.
Federer is talking about getting 20 to,
And I hope,
do you think he can get
I hope
there?
he does.
Why?
Thank you. You're talking about Formula One now.
Yeah.
The beauty in Formula One, the marketing point for Formula One is exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly.
At times there's strategy to play off those things so
Exactly.
that we can talk about it, they can sell more.
So I say it's a marketing ploy.
Federer will only make tennis more interesting.
Okay.
The way the Williams sisters tend to attract the crowd into the main. Flushing Meadows would want to see a Federer in the middle of the court playing a final.
Exactly.
Since you mentioned them, at 32, this is Serena seems to be one wine that is getting better and better with age.
And look at the amount of tickets they keep selling
Selling,
because of Serena. So you can imagine what the organizers of the US Open would want to see. They want to see Djokovic. I trust me, they'll rather a Federer than a Murray in the final.
Okay, when they won it about 2-3 years ago, and then it's like when they say when somebody's winning, how much comes in.
When the flair players are not around, it makes it boring.
Sure.
Nadal is not going to be there. The other flair player that can come in is Federer.
Okay, they are Maria Sharapova making so much money outside the court than inside the court. The top earner in tennis after her Lina before Serena.
Yeah, before
and
Serena.
then you now see, but when you look at the trophies that they've garnered. But then I still want to go to the mail, and I'm coming to Yemi now. Yemi, I didn't see you congratulating Jimmy on the success of Jimmy. 80 ATP titles.
No, you see,
Not Garina.
Not be Vince.
Federer is the greatest tennis player ever. That's
But you've not
That's a
congratulated
given.
Jimmy. Congratulations.
that's a given.
Congratulate me.
Are they always fighting over that?
I mean, this is someone that has always said Roger Federer should retire. I mean, he's
But
past his prime and all that.
for him to come back to win this, I think it's good for him. And going into the US Open, like Bro said, Federer, it will be good for him to quit on a high. Absolutely. I would love Federer to actually clean this. Nadal is not there. It's going to be a straight battle between himself and Djokovic, because if they are ever going to meet, it will be at the final, because they're in two separate
Jimmy, they're all your favorites, but I want to take on this. Roger Federer is there, but I'm seeing the young guns. Remove Murray and Djokovic, Grigor Dimitrov, and Raonic. But Bodic is even.
Bodic is top 10,
It's top 10. But between those two upcoming, who do you think poses a threat to the establishment.
Whenever
so to say.
whenever I look at the way Grigor plays, it reminds me of Roger Federer. It reminds me of someone that could do very, very well on the circuit, someone that could actually dominate for a very long time. Not because he's been associated with Roger Federer, but because he seems like this all-round player.
Yeah, you
understand? Very versatile. If you also look at Enes Golbish, I have to tell you the fact. These are players that will do very well on clay, do very well. I mean, all these players.
And you know, there's also a likelihood that someone that is playing very well, that has played very well in the last 2-3 weeks, would shock the world at the US Open, and that's Tsonga.
Exactly. I doubt it.
Tsonga of late has been in impressive form.
I doubt it.
No. Before Cincinnati at the Rogers Cup, he trounced them.
Yes,
he beat Roger Federer.
He
beat Roger Federer. Okay, at Cincinnati, he now went out, I think, in the first round.
It has to do with the draws.
Yeah, so
if you look at the draws, the way it's being placed right now,
he
looks more like Djokovic
beat three
placed.
top 10 players.
Exactly. Yes. To make it
very well right now.
Yes,
right now.
Yes, he beat 3 top 10 players.
But you must also remember, you cannot discuss tennis without discussing the surface.
The surface, exactly. The
transition.
transition.
The strength of Tsonga
Yes.
has always been hardcore. Not even difficult where it was brought up.
I do agree with you. I do agree with you. But you know, we talked about Roger Federer, we talked about Djokovic, and I feel it is just between the two of them. It would take a Roger Federer that's been the best player on the circuit this season not to win. I mean, it has to be a Djokovic that could come upset him, because those are the two players that really hardcore.
Personally, I don't want to see Djokovic at the final.
Why not?
Personal opinion.
Djokovic is
very
very
boring.
because it's very elastic, very tenacious and all that.